Alright, so today I have swatches of the Magical Pixie Hollow Fairies collection from Sincerely Polished. These are all micro glitters. There are 8 polishes in this collection. These all released on May 31st, so I will link Sincerely Polished down below where you guys can check these out, and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called Magical Pixies, and this is a light pink matte micro glitter with a silver holographic glitter, and I think there's even some like holographic mixed into the base. So here's one coat of Magical Pixies. This covers actually really well on the first coat for being a micro glitter. The formula on this is good too. It's not thick or goopy. It's really easy to apply, really easy to spread out, and the wide brush helps a lot with that too. So there is one coat of Magical Pixies. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Magical Pixies. This one covers completely in 2 coats. You do have to do a little bit thicker of a second coat just to fill in the texture that's created by the micro glitter. You will want a good top coat with this too, probably even 2 coats of top coat, just to fill in all the spaces between the glitters and make it nice and glassy. So there is 2 coats of Magical Pixies. The next polish is called Fawn, and this is kind of a like orangey gold micro glitter. So here is one coat of Fawn. This one covers really well on the first coat. I think it's in like a slightly amber colored base as well. This one has a slightly thicker formula, but it's not terrible. Still really easy to work with. Still really good for a micro glitter too. So there is one coat of Fawn. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Fawn. This one covers completely in 2 coats. It does get quite thick on 2 coats though, like thick on the nail, and it applies a little bit unevenly, like it's a little bumpy. So there is 2 coats of Fawn. The next polish is called Peri, and this is kind of an icy blue mix of blue, metallic, silver holographic, and some iridescent glitter as well. So here's one coat of Peri. This one doesn't quite cover as well in one coat as some of the others in the collection. The base on this one is very, very thick as well. It's almost like a gel. It's not the easiest to spread out and apply. And I think it's going to be really thick when I start doing my second coat. So there is one coat of Peri. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Peri. This one doesn't cover completely on the second coat. You can still see through the glitter a little bit, but it's not enough, I think, to warrant a third, because I think the third coat is going to get way, way too thick. These can also be used as toppers. I'm just trying to show how they perform on their own right now. But this is one that I wouldn't recommend wearing on its own. It's very, very thick, and it's really uneven and kind of like lumpy after you've layered 2 coats on. I don't think top coat is going to fix that either. It's just going to make it thicker. So I think this one is better off as a topper. So there is 2 coats of Peri. The next polish is called Rose, and this is a rosy pink holographic micro glitter. So here is one coat of Rose. This one covers pretty well on the first coat. It does spread out really easily, and it looks like it's in a pink tinted base as well. Not sure how I ended up with it so much thinner on my pointer finger. The formula on this one is a little bit thick, a little bit difficult to work with. It's not as thick and gel-like as Peri, but it's not as thin and easy to work with as Magical Pixies either. It's kind of somewhere in between. So there is one coat of Rose. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Rose. So even with that thinner first coat on my pointer finger, it still covers completely in 2. I do think you would need a lot of top coat to even these out. They do, not just textured from the glitter, but they do tend to dry a little bit, almost like lumpy. So I think you need a good top coat, 2 coats of it, or even like Nail Pattern Boldness Glitter Food to help fill everything in. So there is 2 coats of Rose. The next polish is called Tinker, and this is a light green holographic micro glitter. So here is one coat of Tinker. This one covers pretty well on the first coat. I feel like the base on this one is slightly tinted as well. This isn't as thick as some of the other ones, but it's still a little bit on the thicker side. So there is one coat of Tinker. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Tinker. This one almost covers completely in 2 coats. I can still see through to my nail line just a little bit, but I am going to call it good on 2. I think 3 coats would make it unreasonably thick to the point where you would never like wear it as a full coverage glitter. So there is 2 coats of Tinker. The next polish is called Vidya, and this is a fuchsia holographic micro glitter. So here's one coat of Vidya. This one covers really well on the first coat because of that very nicely tinted kind of fuchsia base that it's in. This one has a little bit of a thicker formula, but it's not terrible. So there is one coat of Vidya. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is two coats of Vidya. This one covers completely on two coats. It does apply a little bit chunky though, so it's going to take a lot of top coat to even it out. I think while a lot of these can be layered to be opaque on their own just because of the texture of them and how thick they are, it might be easier to use them as a topper. So there is two coats of Vidya. The next polish is called Silv, and this is a blue holographic micro glitter. So here is one coat of Silv. This one covers pretty well on the first coat, and it is also in a blue jelly base. This one does have a little bit of a thicker formula. It's not difficult, but it is thick. There is one coat of Silv. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is two coats of Silv. This one covers completely in two coats, but like most of the other polishes in this collection, I kind of have to dab it around the bald spots to make sure I fill it in, because adding a third coat would be way too thick. And again, you will want a good top coat with these to smooth everything out. So there is two coats of Silv. And the last polish is called Dessa, and this is a gold holographic micro glitter. So here's one coat of Dessa. This one covers really well on the first coat, and it is also in a slightly tinted jelly base. This one is not thick at all. It's really smooth, really easy to apply. So there is one coat of Dessa. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here's two coats of Dessa. This one covers completely in two coats, and it's a bit smoother. It's not as chunky as most of the other ones in the collection either. This one I think would be easy to smooth out with just one coat of a thick top coat. So there is two coats of Dessa. So my favorite in this collection is Fawn. I really like this orangey gold color of glitter, and this one was more opaque and a little bit easier to use. It didn't have like that thick kind of gel formula that a lot of the other ones did. So yeah, I really liked this one. So that is the Magical Pixie Hollow Fairies collection from Sincerely Polished. I will link the website down below. These do release on May 31st. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye. They release on May 29th. So that is the Magical Hollow Pixie Fairies, Magical Pixie Hollow Fairies collection.